Pectoralis minor and pectoralis major are two main muscles of your chest. Pectoralis major is the bigger one that sits on the top of the pectoralis minor. And just like with the trapezius, pectoralis major can be divided into different parts due to its varying points of origin and different parts of the muscle fibers. To make this very simple, we're gonna divide it into two parts: the upper or the clavicular head and the lower sternocostal head. The upper part originates at the medial half of the clavicle, and the lower part originates at the sternum, ribs 1 to 7, and it's also tying into the external oblique muscle. All of these fibers meet to insert into the humerus, or the upper arm bone. So, the main functions are arm adduction and elevation, although it's also involved in shoulder depression. Based on the path of the muscle fibers, you can target specific areas of this muscle. For example, if you're doing shoulder adduction towards the ground, you will target more of the lower part of the chest, but the upper part is going to be barely involved in the movement. If you're doing horizontal adduction, then the entire chest muscle should be equally engaged. And if you're combining shoulder flexion and adduction, the movement of your arm will be more aligned with the muscle fibers of the upper chest, and therefore you will target more of the clavicular head. This is why when you're doing any incline press, you're gonna target more of the upper chest, and when you're doing a regular bench press, you're gonna target more of the lower chest. Keep in mind that when you're pressing on the bench, you will always have that arch in your lower back. So in order to have that horizontal adduction that will equally engage the entire pectoralis major, you will need to use the incline bench that is set at around 15 to 30 degrees angle. So 15 to 30 degrees of bench inclination versus 15 to 30 degrees of decline due to the arch of the lower back equals you pressing horizontally and engaging the entire chest muscle. Pectoralis minor originates at the end of the 3rd to 5th rib and inserts into the scapula. It's involved in scapular protraction and depression. If you want to target this muscle specifically, the ideal way would be to do this sort of reverse shrugs on the dip bar. And finally, we have serratus anterior. It's a weird looking muscle that originates on your ribs and inserts into your scapula. That's why its main actions are to protract your scapula and to rotate it upwards. So the best ways to target serratus anterior would be by using a roller or with the dumbbell pullovers, but it's gonna be pretty active when you're doing front raises. Well-developed serratus has a really cool appearance and it gives more detail to your abdominal area.